Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. 我是 Red. If you ever walked into a restaurant in China and felt a little lost, whether it's scanning a QR code just to see the menu, trying to get the waiter's attention, or figuring out how to pay at the end, you are not alone. Dining out in China has its own rhythm, and today we're going to walk through the entire process step by step. You will learn not just the phrases, but the unspoken rules that locals follow. By the end of this video, you will be able to walk into any restaurant in China and handle the whole experience with confidence. Before we dive into the steps, if you find these lessons helpful and want to support the content that keeps this channel running, you can buy me a coffee over on my Ko-fi page. The link is in the description below. It's a simple way to help me create more of these practical guides for you. Thanks for your support. Now, let's get started. In China, the meal often starts not with a greeting, but with a QR code. When you sit down, you will usually see a small black and white square on the table, either on a card, a stand, or sometimes stuck to the corner of the table itself. This isn't just for show, it is a menu. Instead of waiting for a server to hand you a physical menu, locals immediately take out their phones, scan the code using WeChat or Alipay, and start browsing the digital menu on their phone. If you don't see a QR code, it's perfectly fine to ask, 请问可以给我一份菜单吗？请问可以给我一份菜单吗？ Excuse me, can I have a menu? But if you do see a QR code, go ahead and scan it. That's the standard these days, especially in casual or middle-range restaurant. Once you're ready to order, you need to catch the attention of a server. In Chinese restaurants, it's not considered rude to call out. In fact, it's expected. Servers don't usually check on tables frequently, so you will need to be proactive. The most common and natural way is to simply say 服务员. 服务员, waiter, or excuse me, waiter. You can also make eye contact and raise your hand slightly. If you want to be a bit more polite, you can add 你好，我们可以点菜吗？你好，我们可以点菜吗？ Hello, can we order? If you're ready to order and want to let them know, you can say 我们要点菜。我们要点菜。Would like to order. Here's where things have changed a lot in recent years. In most restaurants in China, especially chain restaurants, hot-pot places, and casual dining spots, you don't actually need to call a waiter to order. Once you scan the QR code, you can browse the menu and place your order directly on your phone. The kitchen receives it immediately, and the food starts coming out. No interaction needed. But there are still a few situations where you will want to talk to a staff member. Scenario 1. You want to use a group buying deal, 团购. Many people buy meal vouchers on platforms like 美团 or 大众点评 before heading to a restaurant. When you arrive, instead of scanning the QR code to order, you will often go straight to the counter or tell a server, 你好，我买了团购。你好，我买了团购。Hello, I bought a group deal. 请问现在可以用团购吗？请问现在可以用团购吗？ Excuse me, can I use a group deal now? Sometimes restaurants don't allow it on holidays or weekends, or they require a reservation in advance. If they ask for a code, you will usually show the voucher number from your phone. Scenario 2. You have questions about a dish. Even when using the QR code menu, you might want to ask about ingredients, spice level, or portion size. That's when you will call someone over. 请问这个菜辣吗？请问这个菜辣吗？ Excuse me, Is this dish spicy? 这个菜里面有没有花生？这个菜里面有没有花生？ Does this dish have peanuts in it? Scenario 3. You want to order something not on the digital menu. Sometimes drinks, specials, or side dishes are only available if you ask. You can say, 我想点一份炒青菜，菜单上没有。我想点一份炒青菜，菜单上没有。I'd like to order a plate of stir-fried greens. It's not on the menu. Once you've placed your order, whether through the QR code or with a server, you can just relax. Your food will arrive when it's ready. In many Chinese restaurants, especially hot pot or noodle places, you have options for toppings, side dishes, or how you want your food prepared. Being able to handle these small details makes you sound much more natural. For example, if you're ordering noodles, 面条要硬一点，面条要硬一点。I'd like the noodles a bit firmer. 汤和面分开，汤和面分开。Soup and noodles separate. For hot pot or grilled dishes, 我要清汤底，我要清汤底。I'll have the plain broth base. 小料在哪里？小料在哪里？ Where are the dipping sauces? In many places, you get your own sauces from a self-service station. Sometimes during the meal, you might need something extra, more rice, napkins, or maybe a dish didn't come as expected. Here's how to handle it smoothly. To get the waiter's attention again, 服务员，麻烦你。服务员，麻烦你。Waiter, excuse me. Common requests. 麻烦再来一碗米饭。麻烦再来一碗米饭。Could we have one more bowl of rice, please? 请给我一些餐巾纸。请给我一些餐巾纸。Can I have some napkins, please? If something is wrong with the order, 我没有点这个。我没有点这个。I didn't order this. 这个菜还没上。这个菜还没上。This dish hasn't arrived yet. When you're finished eating, don't wait for the server to bring the bill. It won't come unless you ask. In China, it's standard to request the check when you are ready to leave. The most common phrase is 买单。买单 Check please. You can also say 请问在哪里结账？请问在哪里结账？ Excuse me, where do I pay? Sometimes you will need to go to the front counter to pay. Other times, the server will bring a QR code to your table for mobile payment. Either way, once you've paid, you're free to leave. There's no need to wait for a receipt unless you want one for reimbursement. One cultural note, splitting the bill evenly is common among friends, but if you're with locals, don't be surprised if someone insists on paying for the whole table. The polite response is to offer once, and if they insist, let them. That's it for today's video. I hope this gives you a clear picture of how to navigate a restaurant in China from start to finish. If you find this helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one. 再见。